For so many Indonesians living abroad, you eventually hit this fork in the road, and it's a tough one. Do you go for a new citizenship to get more freedom, more opportunities, or do you hold on tight to your Indonesian passport? For the longest time, it really felt like you had to choose. But what if that's not true anymore? Something new is happening that might just change the entire game. So let's get into it.
And that really is the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? How do you give your family the best possible future, with all the global opportunities that come with it, without feeling like you have to cut ties with where you came from? It's this massive decision that pits the practical side of your brain against your cultural identity, your heart.
So to really get what's new and exciting here, we first have to appreciate just how difficult that old choice was. It really is a classic battle. Your head, which is looking for opportunity and an easier life, versus your heart, which is all about heritage and that deep sense of belonging.
For the longest time, the path was just really stark. If you wanted the incredible freedom that comes with, say, a European passport, we're talking visa-free travel to nearly 200 countries, new job markets for you and your kids, you had to officially, formally renounce your Indonesian citizenship. And for so many people, that was a price that was just way too high. But this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. Indonesia has rolled out a new policy that is basically a bridge back home for anyone who's made that choice or is thinking about it. This could change the entire calculation for thousands of families. Let's take a closer look. It's called the Diaspora Visa, and what's so cool about this is it shows a whole new way of thinking. It is specifically made for former Indonesian citizens and even their kids, allowing them to reconnect and put down deep roots back in Indonesia, all without needing a local sponsor, which was always a huge hurdle. And listen to these benefits because they are huge. This isn't just some tourist visa. We are talking about a 5 or even 10-year visa that gives you the right to work, to access things like healthcare and schools, and even to own property. And after 3 years, it opens up a direct path to permanent residency. I mean, this fundamentally changes the game for the diaspora. Now, of course, there is a catch, and it's a pretty significant one. To get this visa, you have to commit to investing $35,000 into the Indonesian economy. That could be in government bonds, public company shares, or just a savings account. And you've got to do it within 90 days of arriving, which really shows you're serious about contributing to the country. Okay, so what if that $35,000 investment is a little steep? Well, there is an alternative. It's called the repatriation kitas. The investment is lower for a 1-year stay, but it comes with some major restrictions. You're going to need a sponsor, and this is a big one. You'll need a totally separate permit if you want to work. So it's a bit more complicated.
All right, so keeping this new visa in mind, let's imagine 2 very different paths a family might take. First up, let's talk about the path of what we'll call the global citizen.
This approach is for the family that's thinking big. Their number one priority is unlocking the entire world. They're thinking about visa-free vacations, international schools, global career moves for their kids. For them, a passport is a tool for absolute freedom. So here's the play. They go for it, they get the new citizenship, let's use Dutch as the example, they take that incredibly tough emotional step and renounce their Indonesian citizenship. But, and this is the key, they immediately turn around and use that new diaspora visa to build the bridge right back. So they get the best of both worlds, that powerful passport for global travel, and long-term residency rights to live and work back in Indonesia.
Okay, so that's one way to do it, but what about the other side of the coin? Let's talk about path number 2, the path of the loyalist.
For this person, the motivation is all heart. The very idea of giving up their Indonesian passport is it's a non-starter. It's an absolute deal breaker. That emotional and cultural security that comes with being an Indonesian citizen, for them, that outweighs all the practical benefits of a different passport. So this person holds on to their Indonesian passport, no question. Instead of chasing a new citizenship, they might get something like an EU long-term residence permit, which gives them plenty of stability where they live. The huge upsides are they keep their core identity, and wow, they save a lot of money on application fees. The main trade-off? They still have to apply for visas to travel to places like the UK and the US.
Okay, so we've got our 2 archetypes, the global citizen and the loyalist. Now let's put them right next to each other so you can really see the choice your family might be facing.
First off, let's talk money, because it's a big deal. This chart just makes it super clear. Going for Dutch citizenship can cost you over 2,000 euros for just one adult when you add up all the fees and exams. The EU long-term residence path is way cheaper. You could save over 900 euros per person. For a family of 3, that's a massive difference.
So this brings us to the final head-to-head. Path 1, the global citizen, gets you that ultimate travel freedom, but it comes with a higher price tag and, of course, that emotional cost of renunciation. Path 2, the loyalist, lets you keep your Indonesian identity and saves you a bunch of money, but it means some international borders will still require a visa. There is no right answer here, is there? There's only the right answer for your family and your priorities.
And hey, if you are leaning towards that global citizen path, you might be thinking, is this whole visa thing complicated? Well, the good news is the process is actually pretty straightforward. You gather your proof, you apply online at the official immigration portal, pay the fee, and the e-visa gets emailed right to you. It's really designed to be accessible. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one simple question. What matters more to your family? A world of completely open borders, or the undeniable comfort and connection of home? Thanks to this new diaspora visa, the choice is no longer about abandoning one for the other. It's about deciding on the right balance for you.